How's it going, fellow Magic enthusiasts? Golden here, and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. So, I'm finally set up in the new office. The house is coming together. Don't have to play Magic sitting at the kitchen counter anymore. As fun as it was, it is nice to kind of have a chair now. So, the deck we're going to get into today is a deck that was sent to me by Wizard of Oz in the Discord. If you guys want to send me any decks, jump in the Discord. There's a link in the description below, and I'll take a look at those. I like playing user-submitted decks. It's fun. It gets us involved and stuff like that. So, this one is a kind of an anti-meta Yorion build. Obviously, Yorion is extremely powerful in the meta right now. Some may say a little too powerful in the meta right now, but this version right here revolves a little bit more around the control elements of blue-white. I did come out with the blue-white control deck a couple weeks ago, I believe, but that one was more just focused on the flicker effects and a little bit more jank just to kind of really accentuate Yorion's flicker ability. This one is a little bit more on the control side of things. So we have Yorion, obviously, so we have to run 80 cards on our main board. And then we have a lot of different enchantment-based cards and Arch into Sun's Grace. So this list kind of mirrors the traditional blue-white control a little bit more with the win conditions from Arch into Sun's Grace and stuff like that. There is no Dream Trawler in here. That is something I did consider adding into the list just as a late-game push and something you can consider as well. But for this one, for our late game push, we are running Ikoria, Best of Sea God. So if you've watched the channel since the beginning, at the beginning of the last set, I talked a lot about this card, and it was one of my favorite cards in the set. A big blue hexproof Kraken is hard to resist. So Ikoria, Best of Sea God's our late game. It also is an enchantment, so it combos with Arch into Sun's Grace very, very well. And then we're running a lot of other low to the ground enchantments such as Birth of Meletus, Omen of the Sea, and then a cool little inclusion that Wizard of Oz put in here, Mirror Maid. I haven't played with this really at all, and it came out last set. This is Throne of Eldraine, actually. Yeah, so it came out in Throne of Eldraine, and it seems pretty good right now. I mean, I did play a couple games with this in a couple different ways. I made a little bit of tweaks. I added a land and whatnot, but this card, whenever you can hit your opponent's Elspeth Conquers Death, is pretty crazy. So I think right now, with that card being so popular, Fire's Invention being so popular, Mirror Maid does have a place. Now, you can't really flicker this too effectively. You have to be careful. I did make a mistake in one of my testing games where I had an Elspeth Conquers Death on the board, but it was a Mirror Maid, and it wasn't the actual Elspeth Conquers Death. So I tried to flicker the Elspeth Conquers Death, and it came back as a Mirror Maid, and all I could copy was I think it was like an Omen of the Sea, which is still okay. I mean, you're still getting value out of the card, but if you're relying on flickering back an Elspeth Conquers Death to kill one of their creatures and it ends up being an Omen of the Sea, feels bad. So that's one thing to think of. Whenever it flickers in, it does re-enter the battlefield, so it does have to have something on the battlefield to copy for sure. Other than that, we have Narset, which is really good in this meta right now, Neutralize, and a couple of the counter spells with Dovin's Veto and Absorb. That's one of the main reasons that it can counter the current Jeskai Fires builds and other Fires of Invention, Yorion shenanigan builds, that kind of stuff, is because it is a little bit more counter heavy for sure. And then on the sideboard, we have some cards to deal with it as well. We'll get to that in a second. Then we have our Teferis, our Archons, Shattered Sky, Elspeth Conquers Death, Shark Typhoon. This card I severely underrated. I thought it was not going to be that great, but the cycling ability that leaves something on the board is good. One thing I didn't really consider too much is you can't counter a cycling ability because it's ability, not a cast. So it's a good way to get around a lot of the counter spells in opposing decks, and a good way to get a threat on the board for sure. Plus, it's a big enchantment that if you need to late game, you can put it down and it can generate you a lot of value with the shark creature tokens later in the game, with especially an enchantment based build. All right, getting to the sideboard. Couple cards, very specific cards for the meta. Light of Hope is one of them. This is a new card that is a 1-mana enchantment removal. That's pretty good. I didn't really think about this card too much over the course of the set so far, but especially with Fire's Invention hitting the board almost every single game, this is a good way to quickly deal with it and very efficiently. It's a 1-mana instant enchantment removal, and it does have a place, especially right now. I would consider this in a lot of white builds. Devout Decree, just a good solid removal spell. Lavina Azorius Renegade. Each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with converted mana cost greater than the number of lands that player controls. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. So again, this is a hard counter to the Fire's Invention deck, because if they have Fire's Invention down, every spell that they cast without the mana. Now you can choose with Fire's Invention. You can choose to cast it for its mana cost, but this basically shuts off Fire's Invention as well. Unbreakable Formation. I do understand why this is in there. It's here to protect your stuff, but I don't know if this is the right call for this, because you're running counter spells. It might be worth just running more Mystical Disputes or more stuff like that. I don't know. I could be wrong. We're going to play with it and we're going to see how it does. I have a couple Mystical Disputes. I put that in the sideboard because I think it's just really good against any blue deck. Ashiok, getting rid of their graveyard, turns off Elspeth Conquers Death's third chapter, and it also kills Loris decks if they haven't yet brought stuff back. There's a couple other options you can take for that, but this is one good one for sure. I like Ashiok for sure. And Commence the Endgame. I like this card a lot. This is a card that I've played in the past. It can't be countered, so if you're going against a blue deck, it's really good. And it also puts something on the board, fills up your hand, and it's just a good late game push, especially in those long grindy matches that can really come in handy. The can't be countered is a very important part of this. So if you're going against another control deck, this is a good inclusion. And then Finale of Glory. This is a funny card. I like this card a lot as well. Again, this is for the longer games, the games that are gonna go. If you can create 10 4/4 angels, what is not to love about that? So that's the deck. All right, we're gonna get into some gameplay. I'm gonna keep it in. You know what? We'll go ranked with this. I'm gonna trust it. We're gonna see how we do in ranked. All right, let's get into it. Rael. Okay, so we're starting off pretty good. We have Absorb, Narset, Shark Typhoon. I'll keep that. Start with Scry, obviously. We want to keep hitting our lands. One thing I did run in when I was testing it, I think I don't remember how many lands were initially in it, but I did get kind of cut short on lands a little bit. But I did add, I think, 1 or 2 lands that should help. Incubation. Oh, this is Adventures, I think. No, Winota. You know, I've played against this deck a little bit. It's pretty fun. You can get pretty aggressive. Funny enough, I was looking through some of the recent tournaments, and one of the decks that actually was performing pretty well. We'll wait. I'm going to counter Winota. Is Gruul Aggro in one of the tournaments. I don't know what the tournament really was. I didn't look into it that much, but Gruul Aggro actually doing things. Very surprising. It had 0 cards from the current set, and it was just traditional Gruul Aggro. There was 2 lists made the top, I think 5 of this tournament that I was looking at, and which was pretty interesting. Now, the Magic Fest online tournament, you just basically had Disc Fires winning, of course. I'm going to leave open Absorb. I'm not going to put Narset down yet. If he doesn't do anything, we're going to Shark Typhoon. Obviously, I do need to take care of that Bone Crusher Giant eventually, but not really right now. Looks like we did stop his turn, though, at least, so. Get these Shark Typhoons out of our hand. Create a token here. Another Absorb. Yeah, you know what? I might just wait. Take a couple pings. And absorb whatever he casts. Now I could raise the alarm. I don't know if that's worth the absorb. No. We're going to put down, if he doesn't do anything again this turn, we're going to put down the other Shark Typhoon. Going all the way down to 6. All right, so now this blocks out Bone Crusher Giant. All right, so I have a couple options here. I think I'm gonna Narce it and keep Absorb open.
I have practiced against many. Meditate and prepare.
Might change things a little bit. No, it doesn't. It's kind of telegraphing that I have a counterspell by not putting down Teferi. But I have Omen of the Sea at the end of his turn, so it's not the biggest deal. So if he just holds back, I can Omen of the Sea. If he attacks all, I take 2 damage, go down to 4, but he loses both of these. Then next turn, I will Teferi away his other token. Let's see what he decides to do. Yeah, he's going for it. Okay, he's going after Narset. That saves my life total a little bit at least. Narset goes down to 1, which makes her a little useless, but the beauty of Yorion is you can always flicker it back to the board. Absorb, take us back up to 9. Shatter the Sky, that's pretty good. Okay, good. This lets me also keep open Absorb. For whatever that one card he has is. Yep, I will not want that to hit the board. Yep, that should be enough. Good. All right, so we take game 1. We hit the sideboard. We want some control stuff. So we have black or red. I mean, he was running a lot of red. I think that is actually good enough. That's really all we got on the sideboard for control. This deck is so teched against the Yorion decks. This can gain us life. I don't think that's worth it though. We'll stay like this. I'm gonna take out Dovin's vetoes. That's good. I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing here. I think that's good enough. So I think from his sideboard, he's gonna be putting in stuff like, you know what? I haven't seen it in so long, but I think it's the 3/1 when it attacks that is protection from white. Got to get a second blue mana source, so I'm going to lead with Fabled Passage and go for blue. But at least if we don't, we have Devout Decree, so we do have a little bit of a removal. And Shattered Sky, so if we do get any mana, at least we're going to Shatter the Sky. Charming Prince. Okay. Can't interact with that right away. Good, we get our blue mana. I'm going to drop it now so I can Teferi possibly next turn. I'd like to hit a second blue source. Oh, crap. What did I do? I'm so dumb. I cracked that for planes. I meant to crack that for... No, never punished. It's all good. All good. I'm worried about a counterspell because he is playing. Oh, we have Shatter the Sky at least. All right, well, we're gonna have to try to shatter. Guess I don't have to. I can Teferi plus Teferi. He'll draw out a counter spell. He can't kill it right away, but he might have another one of these. All right, we're gonna go for the shatter. Okay, it doesn't get countered, and he doesn't put down. All right, that's good. Maybe he's not running counters. I don't know. Let's see what he puts down. All right, nothing goes down. That's very interesting. Going untapped, we now have Absorb and Devout Decree open. And then if he doesn't do anything, we can create a 1/1. Hakatos is going to... Yep, we will counter that. Oh, Mystical Dispute. Let's see. What does he get? What does he roll? What's he roll? 2. All right, so let me just... Protection from each converted other than 2. He's gonna be so mad. He's gonna be so mad. Peace. Yeah, I actually want more lands. I want to be able to keep double spelling. Let's keep Absorb open again. I am surprised I have seen this in ranked. Does he have another counter? No, if raised the alarm. That's not as bad. Okay, so I don't have enough mana to both Yorion and Teferi, but I do have enough mana to both Narset and Teferi. So we're gonna start out with Narset. Maybe we'll get something a little bit better. Teferi's good, but Teferi dies. Another Teferi and a Dovin's Veto. Also a Shark Typhoon. I'm just going to take the Teferi, honestly, because he's running with... He has tokens right now, so I'm just going to start bouncing his tokens. That way, if he kills Teferi... If he kills Teferi, it's not that big of a deal, because we have another one. Spectral Sailor. Yep. We're just gonna do this, actually. We have so much life now, I don't think we're in danger of losing this game. Let's bounce that. Yorion. Flicker both of these. All right, cool. Leaves us open with no counters, but I'm not really sure what he can do. Planar Cleansing is the thing. Doesn't look like he has anything. Okay. Do the old Teferi Yorion combo wombo. Let's see. Does that leave open? I maybe should have considered leaving open a counter spell. It's alright. Just doing things. Doing Yorion things. Yeah, I mean, this right here is kind of the core of the deck. Yorion and all these enchantments and stuff are so good. I think I already, yeah, let's do that. Yes, finally. Don't need that anymore. Finally, get the big Kraken card. All right, so we're gonna drop probably just, but this and this is so much fun. So we're gonna drop a Shatter. So we have 9 mana right now. This is 7. This is 3. So if we can get one more land, we can Cure and Mirror Maid, and Mirror Maid Cure and make 2 8/8s this turn. And I am down with that. Agent, of course, because why wouldn't every deck in the whole game run Agent of Treachery? That's okay. He bounces my Yorion. Goes after Narset. I mean, I guess I should Shatter, right? A big part of me just wants to Cure and copy, but I think Shatter the Sky is probably the right decision here. Let's do this. Okay, so Shatter goes down. Put down our own Teferi. Plus it. Okay. So we can't counter anything because it's Teferi.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Just slamming agents too. That's kind of what I assumed.
I have a plan.
I'm going to take another land here. Kiora. And then I'm actually going to Teferi my Kiora Best of Sea God instead of Mirror Mating this turn, since I know he has the agent in hand. I don't want him to take this.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
It's actually turning out to be a little bit of a better game than I thought. He kind of, this is an interesting deck here. Kind of 360'd into a control deck with Agent. I feel like just right now you just use Agent for everything, but still.
Only time will tell.
Elspeth Conquers Death.
That's how it was meant to.
Okay, so now we have counterspells. And counterspells are good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 mana, so we have 2 counterspells open. We probably don't need 2 counterspells open, but I'm going to do it just in case. We really only probably need Absorb just to hit that. We're just going to start going after him. Elspeth Conquers Death is eventually going to bring back like Teferi or something anyways. Unsurprisingly, an 8/8 hexproof Kraken creature is pretty good.
Don't worry,
Legion War Boss. So it's a good thing we kept open 2 counterspells, eh?
Still have much to learn.
Cool. All right, so this turn, I think I'm just gonna Yorion that. So we can, 1, 2, you know, I don't want to leave myself open to another counterspell, so, or to another Agent of Treachery. So I'm just gonna drop the Cure Best Sea God. I'm not that worried about Chandra. It doesn't really do all that much. Go and face. 1 counterspell open right now. We're bringing back to Fairy next turn. Don't want to cycle it. And there we go. Good game. Okay, that actually turned out to be a pretty interesting match. That deck was pretty cool. All right, we have time. I think we do one more best of 3 series. That one actually went a little longer than I expected. It's surprising that was in rank. That's something I would have expected to see in the unranked queue, but it was an interesting match for sure. All right, we got Luca. The Luca Planeswalker, or the Luca, yep. Well, that's a lot of land in an Archon. Not much better, but we do have at least a counterspell. I'm not going to go down to 5 because 5 is weakness. We're just going to hang on to it and hopefully we draw into not lands. Okay, that's a not land. Rodwood Tracker. This looks gruely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at least he doesn't get the proc off of the robber. Again, we're gonna probably go a little low in life in this game. It looks like a lot of people right now are playing aggro just as a way to hopefully beat the Yorion decks, specifically the Fires version. Okay, so I do have the option to Shark Typhoon to get the Wildwood Tracker off the board. I don't think so. Okay, again, I can put the Archon down. It's obviously a good blocker and it's 3/4. If he has removal though, I'm in trouble. I think this is the turn to do it though, because I still have enough life to be safe. If he does have a removal spell for the Archon, this deck seems like it's not running that type of stuff. And right now, the worst thing is Embercleave. Questing Beast isn't much better. Huh. Not that helpful. Fortunately, we don't have any enchantments. Questing Beast is good. Okay. Let's see what he decides to do here. I will cycle Shark Typhoon at the end of the turn. he doesn't do anything. Land would have been nice. I think I have to put down Fairy.
This isn't a fight you can win.
I hit a land at least. I'm probably gonna have to use the Archon to block the Questing Beast this turn, unfortunately. So that land was actually important. Embercleave would have sucked. Oh, we're going low. We're going low. Whatever. We can always block it out next turn, right?
Hardly my worst defeat.
Okay, we hit another land. I might Mirror Maid just to get the trigger from the Archon for life. No, I don't think it's worth it. We're gonna just keep open the
I am not going to sit this one out.
Oh, actually, you know what?
Might be a bad idea.
Okay. Pellet Collector's fine. We will counter the Questing Beast. We're low. I maybe should have did that last turn, but it's okay. What are you gonna do?
Let's try this.
Let's see. If I Yorion, it puts some blockers on the board. But I have Shark Typhoon anyways. So I'm at 5 right now. Shark Typhoon can block out one. I can block out the other. I'm still safe. Let's just do that. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna block this out and we're gonna block this out. We're gonna go down to 1. Woo, baby. But hey, we have birth now, so we can start churning out tokens, which I'm okay with. All right, so we go Birthomelitis. I'm gonna do this now just because. There we go. So we just start churning out birds. All right, going into the sideboard. We don't have much interaction here. We'll just keep it the way it is. You know what? No, we'll again put in the Devout Decree for the red, and we're gonna take out. What do we take out here? Probably this one Mirror Maid. It's okay, but it seems to not be doing the best job. And then take out one Kior, Best Sea God. It's really late game, and if we survive, we should win. Surprisingly, going against some off-meta decks here today, so making for some fun matchups. I like it, especially considering this is a meta-breaking deck that I'm playing, and this is like the first time I haven't played against a Yorion Fires deck in a while. Oh, we have Dovin's Veto. Oh, I should have probably cut those. I wasn't thinking about it. We didn't have much to put in. I am gonna keep it. I mean, he does have non-creature spells with Embercleave. Yeah, I want to make sure I hit my land drops. Next turn we do have Omen Sea at least. Okay, Robert goes down. That's bad. At least he's taking my land. Yeah, better that he gets a land than it's a fairy, so I'm glad I kept that there. It's not gonna matter. I can do it at the end of my turn. I'll wait until... Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna just try to... Okay. I mean, this is making it so I might not hit my land drops, but at least he's... well, I do get one, but at least he's gonna do one. Okay. Just lands. I'll take it. Crap. These are all tapped. All right. Well, scry it is. Let's leave that on the top. I don't think he's going to want to shatter the sky anyways. Again, going pretty low. We do have our own Shatter the Sky, though. We do have Dovin's Veto open as well. Ooh, crap. He gets to Fairy. But we have Dovin's Veto, so hopefully he tries to cast that to Fairy. He does. We're making use of our vetoes. Didn't think I was going to, but I guess when he's playing our deck, that definitely happens. All right, we blow him up. I'm actually going to use Fabled Passage and bring out an island. Okay, what does he have? Questing Beast. I should have guessed. Putting down Yorion as a blocker for Questing Beast because I don't have a counter for Questing Beast. I have a Dovin's Veto and that won't work. So we're just gonna do this. We'll at least flicker the Omen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I shock in the hollowed fountain, well, no, that's not. Okay, I'm gonna keep it there because continually hitting my land drops is gonna be important, I think. I'll take that trade. Lovestruck Beast, okay. Teferi will be able to bounce the token, make Lovestruck Beast pretty useless, I hope. Another Shatter the Sky, which is very good. I'm gonna drop Vantress in the off chance that he puts down a 1-drop and can attack with Lovestruck Beast. I want to be able to create a 1/1 with the Shark Typhoon. Like that. Oh, this is bad. I do have Shatter. I just need to survive, which I can. See how he attacks. Woo! Oh, doggy. All right. Okay, we do that. Plus Teferi. Next. And we are able to Shatter the Sky because of Teferi's +1 and then hold open absorb. This will let us gain life.
Trust me, I have a plan.
My prowess is on meditate and prepare.
Elspeth Conquers Death is actually pretty good. I'm gonna Omen of the Sea. I mean, we still are kind of in trouble here. There are things that can beat us for sure. Ardenvale's good. Let's continue with blockers next turn. Which is kind of what we need here, because we're open right now to a haste creature. Like if he has Questing Beast, that doesn't kill me. But it takes me pretty damn close. Shock kills me. Teferi should be what he takes.
Hardly my worst defeat.
Take thoughtfulness before action.
That's still not good enough. All right, we just gotta dig.
Past, present, and future. Keep an open mind.
Nope. Well, he takes game 2. Stay like that. Even if I would have hit his Questing Beast with Elspeth, I was down to 1. And he had that 1/1 on the board. So in hindsight, the better play there actually would have probably been to let the Lovestruck Beast hit the board and then counter the spell that made the 1/1 because the Lovestruck Beast couldn't attack. That would have won me, or that would have at least made it a lot more possible for me to win that game. I'll keep the Archon. We have a Shatter, and then we can follow up with the Archon, which will help us gain life. This turn we can Birth, which will allow us to hit our land drops. We get into 4 mana is important here. Next turn we can Teferi and take out this 1/1. See if he, yes, Haste is a good choice for him. Birth of Meletis is a good card in this matchup. It's pretty important. Not only does it gain us life, it puts a block on the board, which we don't have a lot of, so I think that's... I'm actually going to take this turn and put down one of our Archons. We can generate a lot of value from that if he doesn't take it out.
Don't worry, I got this.
So he'll attack with the Lovestruck Beast. At least he doesn't go after Teferi.
You just let me know if you're
I know 88 ways to hone your prowess.
Elspeth will take out the 5/5. I think Elspeth is better in this matchup, especially with the amount of creatures that he has on the board. Plus, it'll also give us a 2/2. All right, that's enough. Perfect. All right, so that second one was a grindy one. He came back. Gruul aggro, actually, like I said before we started all this, is something that has been doing very good in a couple of the tournaments. So it might be something to consider against it. It's obviously really aggressive, has a lot of staying power. It's a good anti-meta deck too. Unfortunately, I didn't get to come up against Yorion Fires, which is what this deck's built to beat, but we did win both of our games anyway, so anything with Yorion and this type of control is very good. So hopefully you enjoyed the deck, hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. Consider subscribing to the channel, it helps out the visibility of the channel for sure. Again, if you want to give me some deck ideas, jump to the Discord. I am more than happy to take a look at the decks and make some videos showcasing those builds. So thank you guys, and have a nice day.